Hey guys, today we're going to take a look at if stippling actually works. All right, so we have a couple different guns here, and there's a ton of controversy if stippling actually works or if it is just a gimmick. A lot of people think you're just ruining your gun, and then there's a lot of other people that live for stippling. So let's go ahead and first go off what a stippling is. The stippling is right here on the grip. They take a siren and they press into it, and it creates this effect, which is called stipple. There's a lot of different designs that they can do, but it makes it really rough texture, so what they say is it's a better grip. So what we got here is we have two P80s that I had stippled. These are the first stipple guns I've ever had and ever used, actually ever handled. I've been running them a lot. Also, I have the Spartan 19 here with the Talon grips that I ran. That was my very first Glock, and that's what I've ran most of the time. And then here's a stock Glock 23, which we are converting here soon once the conversion barrel comes. But for right now, it has stock grips. Now, I was like many of you, when I first seen this, I thought it was kind of dumb. I thought it was ruining your gun. But the more and more I've seen it, the more and more it grew on me. So I decided, you know what, I needed to get my own done so I can formulate an opinion and test out the grip and see how it actually works. So I decided to build these two P80s, and I thought that would be the perfect time to get them stippled. So I did, got both of them done. Now, the first thing I really like about this is the fact of how it looks. Now, it looks even better with a painted or a Cerakoted frame with this one because it really sticks out and you can see how well the design is. So that's something I noticed and is a perk for me, is the fact that it looks really nice. I mean, the stock grips are decent. There's nothing terrible about them, but I really think this looks much better than that. And that's all going to be opinion based on different people. You might hate this design, you might like it, so that one's going to be on you guys. Next is the grip itself. Now, the first thing I noticed when I picked this up, and I have pretty calloused hands, so when I put it in my hand, it actually kind of hurt to hold. When you're holding your grip pretty tight, it kind of, with the stippling done, it pulls up. It has these little sharp edges. It's hard to tell here because they're worn down on this one pretty good. But as you can see with my hand, like here, you can kind of see where those stipplings were in my hand. So the first time I picked it up, it actually hurt to grab. And I was a little worried because I was like, oh no, if this is like this, I don't know how much I'm gonna like it because it's not very comfortable to shoot. Now, what I will say is the more and more I've shot this, the more rounds I put it, the more I handle it, those sharp edges go down and now it's just actually comfortable. This one is very comfortable. This one I haven't shot quite as much, so it still has those sharp edges, especially like right here, you can kind of see them. Actually, you can hear it as I go across it, especially just because my fingertips are the only thing that goes on there. But the more and more I shoot this, the more that will go down. So yes, it hurts a little bit when you first get it, depending on how rough your hands are. It's probably gonna hurt either way. It's gonna be definitely different than what you're used to if you're used to running Talon grips or a stock grip. So don't get discouraged when you grab it the first time and you don't like it. Just run it a while, get used to it, and it'll wear down like this one. This one's really comfortable now. As for the grip itself, when shooting, plain and simple, I feel like I can have a better grip on my gun. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't readjust my hand quite as much as I do when I shoot these two. When I'm shooting, I feel like I have a better grip. I feel like my second shot, third shot get back on target quicker, and I don't have to readjust and get down because I feel like I have a better grip on this texture. This one, I feel like I'm readjusting a lot more every time I shoot. I make sure to get my hand back in there in a tight position just because I feel like my hand isn't stuck as well into this one. It still does a really good job, but just not quite as good as the stippling. So I'd say that's a +1 for the stippling as well. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to be saying is, oh man, you have really girly hands and you're a baby. But no, trust me, if you guys handle one of these, you guys will see what I'm talking about. It's not the fact that it's like an excruciating pain I can't handle. It's just a little more uncomfortable what you're used to holding a gun. Holding a gun, it's not a discomforting thing. It shouldn't be something that you're like, oh, that kind of hurts a little bit. This is just a little bit discomforting until it gets worn down. So after a while, running it all day, it was a little discomforting. I have not concealed this yet. I'm kind of curious to see how that's going to run appendix-wise. It might be a little uncomfortable. I don't have an undershirt. Haven't tried it yet, so I can't give you guys an opinion on that. I'm waiting for my holster to get finished. So for long periods of time shooting this, I would say that's a negative point because it does get a little uncomfortable shooting for a long period of time. All right, so lastly is price point. Now, all the places that I've seen that do a good job and more professional shops around $150 on up. I'm sure you guys can find some cheaper shops that do it for cheaper than that, but your average price is going to be about $150 on up from there. So for most of you, that's going to be pretty high. And to me personally, that is high. I think that is definitely a downfall, so I will give that a -1 just for the fact that the price point's pretty high on this. You can do a lot of things for $150. You can upgrade your trigger, you can get your extractor upgraded. There's a lot of little upgrades you can do for that kind of money that are going to be better than getting your grip stippled. So price point is a little high, but I will say if you're getting your P80 done, it's a little high, but if you're doing something like getting this refinished, they will take the grooves off, they'll undercut it, and they'll basically refinish your entire grip and stipple it. So it is a lot of work involved, so I understand why they charge a lot, but I think the price point should come down a little bit just for the fact that the fad is kind of coming down a little bit. It's not as much as a thing anymore. People do it a lot, but it's not out there like fidget spinners were, where everybody was getting it done, so the price point was really high. So hopefully the price point will come down a little bit, but I'll call that a negative just for how expensive it is. So to answer that question, is it worth it? Yes, in my personal opinion, after running this for quite a while, I think it is. The far superior grip than the other Glocks is a huge benefit. The fact that I don't have to readjust my grip quite as much, and I feel I can get shots back on target a lot quicker having a better grip on it. Plus, it looks really nice, and when you're building a Glock like this, you want it to look nice, so you want to find something that you personally enjoy, and I really enjoy that look. Now, I will say, and I highly, highly recommend this, especially if you only have one Glock, if you want to get this done, find a gun store, find a buddy that has this, and handle one. Don't just go and get it done. I would definitely put it in your hands, play with it a little bit, go shoot it if you can, and see if it is something you're going to enjoy. Because doing this to your gun, it's a pretty big modification, and it's kind of hard to redo or undo. So I would definitely suggest having somebody that you know bring their gun out and shoot it, because it's not something like this where you can just peel it off if you don't enjoy it. Now, of course, everybody's opinions are different, so I just want to give you guys some pros and cons of what I think so it can help you guys formulate an opinion. Don't go and be like, oh, Zach likes it, so of course I'm going to like it. No, everyone's opinions are different. Some people hate it, some people love it. That's why I say make sure you handle it. But those are just some pros and cons that I have found after running it, just to give you guys a little help in making that decision. Now, this is my P80 build. I just got this one finished. This is actually my dream build. It's got the Jaegerworks slide, of course, like the other slides, and this one's also Jaegerworks. I just didn't get it cut. The Viper optic. This is my first optic I've ever ran, and then it's got the flush fluted barrel from Lone Wolf, and then the ultimate trigger from them as well, and then an extractor, and then it's got Stippling by USA Gun Bunker, and that's a P80 frame. I'm going to do a full video on this here soon to show you guys everything in closer detail and a little bit of shooting of it. But that is my opinion on stippling. We will do some more videos like this here in the future on some other things that we're doing. Make sure you guys check us out on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, subscribe, like, comment, share. We appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much.